Welcome everyone to Bartercard Cup Round 5, coming to you live from the North Harbour Stadium. An absolute pleasure to welcome you from wherever you are right around the country. Tēnā rā koutou katoa, and welcome to Monday Night League here on Māori Footy. Great to have your company. Good to be in the chair with the boys and looking forward to the action tonight, Richie.
Absolutely, looking forward to a top game. Tamaki Leopards sitting on 7th spot. It's vital for them to win this game. Doesn't see them, if they lose, they'll fall down the ladder, and we don't want that early on in the season.
We want no bias from you two. Both of you got pretty heavy Otahu connections, part of the Leopards sort of drawing area. So what you thinking, Tawara?
Yeah, no, I think the Wellington Orcas, they've got a very good young side. They've got some talented players, but really interested to see how their coach, Paul Bergman, goes tonight. So going to be an exciting match though. And there's some connections there with Tawara. We'll get into that in a moment. He did a level 4 coaching certificate in Australia with Paul Bergman. Let's have a look at this Orcas lineup. Some new names for us as well, and some tough ones. Keep an eye out for, obviously, the guys who've got the Warriors connections, Dallas Rennie and Mannering. But I'm told that both coaches are just trying to get some combinations together, and that would be understandable, I suppose, in round 5, Rich.
Well, absolutely. It's still early on in the season. They're trying to find themselves, especially the new franchises that are out there. They're still trying to find combinations. And it's good to see Simon Mannering back into the lineup. He's had an injury, and he's sort of getting back into it because he's a talent.
Here's the Tamaki Leopards, and, of course, formerly taking in the drawing area from the Eastern Tornadoes and also the Otahu Ellerslie franchise. So they've got some good players in there. Check them out. Tuki Jackson, Paul Atkins had a run with the Warriors at one stage. Mana Ashford, Willie Hetzer. This is the combination that will steer them around the track. And Tawara, big responsibilities always on the 6 and 7.
Certainly, it's going to be a tough game for the Tamaki Leopards, but I think if the halves can control the game, that'll be the difference. And tonight's referee, David Pakito, former Otahu player, and looks like he's been at McDonald's or Burger King too much because that jumper looks a bit tight for David.
Dave's a good staunch man. He's given a lot of great service to the refereeing scene. And let's get underway. And the kick-off from the Leopards. As it comes down. And good numbers on the jerseys, easy to pick up. That's Isaac Leava'a tackling there with Paul Atkins. Downtown early in the tackle count.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what Tamaki we're thinking of doing early on the tackle, and I think it's a good ploy early on in the game. Put the pressure back on the attacking side. Overzealous play there by the Wellingtonians.
The first penalty didn't take too long to come about, and that is on the 30-metre line. Bit of rain in Auckland City over the last 24 hours, but the field's still in good condition, although it will be a little bit slick there. Ball retention be the key tonight, Tawara.
Yeah, certainly is. In these conditions, ball security is paramount, and the side that best does that will, I think, come out on top now.
Okay, Gene Fafusuanga feeds the ball on and picks up Sanave Faitale. And Sanave, one of the most experienced in this competition. On it comes to Fred Turufenua from Ngaituhoi. He will play the ball now 25 metres out in centre field. Fafusuanga in dummy half. Feeds it across, picks up Mana Ashford. Ashford turns back on the inside to Leava'a, and he's closed down on the tackle of Simon Mannering, 22 metres out from the try line. Ashford uses the high ball early, testing at the back. This is a good kick. The bounce is very important, and fortunately it comes up kindly for Ompolas Kua. It's an interesting name, Rich.
It is. Dion Lulu, who tried to go for the ball, but he was about a metre away from the ball. You can see here. It's important for a fullback to really concentrate on the ball. Forget about the people that are running you down. Just concentrate on the ball at hand.
It's interesting to see Tawara kicking early in the tackle count, downfield from the Orcas, and then the bomb early from the Leopards. As Ashford again finds a hole and makes it pay. Great start, Mana Ashford. Saw a little gap, and the Leopards draw first blood, capitalises on just a little defensive error from the Orcas. Early try, 2 minutes into the match, and it's the Leopards who lead the Orcas 4-0.
Yeah, great work by Mana Ashford there, actually taking the ball to the line, dumbing on the outside, thus creating a pause in the defence and scooting over for a try close to the post. So great start there for the Tamaki Leopards.
And here you go here, Mana Ashford. Have players in motion here, which takes the pressure off himself. Defenders don't know where they're going, and it alleviates a bit of the problem for him. He goes through with a fairly easy try in my mind. The Wellingtonians didn't come off the line quick enough in my mind. It's happened quite a lot in this competition, where when you're close to the line, you need to get off the line and put pressure back on the attacking side. Good try, Mana Ashford. He's from the rugby union background.
Former Sevens player, actually, Richie, and actually I was fortunate enough to meet Mana this year at Matua Parkinson's wedding. He was the best man there, and he tells a couple of good yarns, but I'm sure he can tell a few of those after he's had a couple of quiet ones too. So great start, and the kick goes over to Dale.
Yeah, Willie Hitter adds the extras. Great start for the Tamaki Leopards.
Well, actually, interesting enough, Mana Ashford, he's just injecting himself into the game. He's just come away from rugby union, and he's sort of found his feet now, and he's alleviated the problem from Willie Hitter, who has been the instrumental player of late. So it's quite good that someone else can take the pressure off the number 6, Willie Hitter.
Mana Ashford from the Palmerston North area, where he played league as a junior, then moved to rugby union for a few years, where he represented New Zealand Sevens. So the Orcas suffer an early try against them. They'll be wanting to shore up their defence. Sanavi Vaitalia once again takes it forward. Good solid prop forward play from the Sanavi. You feed on Leoval with another charging run. This time he's closed down in the tackle of Hayden Davis, the back rower for the Orcas. And the Leopards, George Tuakura winds it up, hammers it down. Good run from Tuakura. He makes it to 37 metres out from his own line. Vafusuanga, cross through Heta. Heta works it on, gets it out wide to Richie Johnson. Johnson head down, closed down two, and a good tackle in his grasp by Ben Talaika. The standoff half of the Orcas. Crossfield they go, onto the boot of Mana Ashford. This will be a feature of the game this evening. The slick conditions, and it's been knocked forward, and the ball has come loose. And trying to capitalise was Aidoe Boisa in the centre on the far side, but they get a useful scrum feed. 20 out from the try line and just 15 to the right-hand side of the posts.
Yeah, there was a great set by the Tamaki Leopards there. They ran their 5 tackles out. 2-pass kick went from Willie Hedder onto Mana Ashford, and they had an onside chase, Richie, which is very, very important in these wet conditions.
Yep, you got to take your head off to Kotisi Whakalata and Tuki Jackson, who were screaming down that the right-hand flank. Puts their fullback under all sorts of pressure.
Mannering takes Tudufina, who peels off the back of the scrum, squeezes down the right flank as Vafusuanga gets the ball on, gets it on to Tuakura once again. Big George winds up. He's not as big as he has been in seasons past. He certainly can make a telling impact on a match of football. Back on the inside, and they find Tudufina once again, just a few metres away from the try line. So the Orcas under tremendous pressure early on in the match. Just 5 minutes gone. 1 try down already. Here's Mana Ashford, the try scorer. Through Heta. Shows the ball. Heta. Will he get to the line? I don't think so. Taylor Pellinisi makes the tackle. 5 metres out from the try line now. Which way will the Leopards go? They decide to go left. And it's just a quick pop ball to Paul Atkins. Can he get it away? No, he loses the ball. The Orcas come up with it. Referee says double knock on, but the black and yellow from the Wellington region, Te Whanganui Atara, will get the scrum feed on the 10-metre line.
Yeah, certainly a good set there by the Tamaki Leopards, but coming to no avail there. The fullback Paul Atkins, did change it a little bit there.
No ball.
Lost the ball.
Lucy, stay in.
Both these sides have their for and against are pretty ordinary, really. That's a huge hit there. That's
was
what you need.
Good hit, wasn't it? It was a flop. Well, he's calling it a flop.
Jeez, that was a strong tackle.
Great hit there.
Talk about Boisa, he's a rugby union background also, so it's good to see these guys doing well in rugby league. But look at this. Wolf, left shoulder. There's nothing wrong with that. The flop was the second guy on the ball.
So the Orcas have the ball through Justin Carnegie. He looks for a worker, he just takes it forward for a conventional settler. That's Paul Rudman. We'll get some info from some of these guys as we go through. What we know is that Paul Rudman is a plumber.
He's a plumber. A lot of these plays from Petone.
And with another charging run comes Dallas Rennie. We've seen Dallas over the years, former junior Kiwi player, and had a stint with Manly and the Warriors. Now the Orcas just really need to consolidate, get themselves settled in, do a couple of sets of 6 and use it well.
This is their first full set with the ball, Dale, so just interesting to see how they end up after this set of 6.
That was a heavy shot from Tudu Whenua.
13, swinging arm.
Swinging arm.
And swinging arm and high. No, yeah, but don't swing it in and hit his head.
Gets the penalty.
Dave Paquito, sponsored by KFC.
The ref's copping a bit tonight, old Puck. Don't worry, you can take those. We both used to play with the Richie.
We did.
Surely understand.
Tahu years ago, and I played with his son, Neil Paquito.
It's great to see guys who played football give something back by being a referee. Fred Tidefenua, I played softball with him last year.
I'll tell you what, they were calling him the guy, the 80-minute man. He's a hard-working guy. He's the industrious player in that squad.
Pretty good outfielder too, I can tell you. Not bad with the bat as the ball's played there by Kaur. Now it comes on for Rudman. And he cleans out the pipes, gets him nice and close, 5 metres away from the try line. This is the chance for the Orcas as it comes out, looking for runners. Here they come. Here they come. This is Dion Lulu. He's tackled about 10 metres out and 5 in from the touchline as it comes out to Ova. Is well sorted too in the tackle of the Leopards, who make sure to keep their line intact here. The grubber kick, the bounce is good. Vafusuanga can't control. That ball will go back to the Orcas. And offside, accidental offside. Penalty, 5 to the right-hand side of the posts. It's Justin Carnegie. Looks to go quickly. Now he does. Feeds it on to Dallas. Rennie for the line. Rennie! Oh, I thought he was going to go all the way. He is just a few inches short. Now they fed it. They got the numbers wide. Out through Leon Boyd. He still got it, Boyd, and he gets it under Mannering. The Orcas strike back. Great try from the Wellingtonians. Had the numbers wide. Worked it nicely. Leon Boyd did the damage. And Simon Mannering was hammering down straight ahead. Picked it up. Put it down. And that takes the score to 6-4 with 9 minutes gone.
Yes, that's a very good try there from the Orcas. Great to see them work the ball. There was a penalty out there. They tapped the ball, went to the left-hand side. The young halfback, Leon Boyd, comes across, picks up Mannering, hits a hole, and scores in the far corner.
But they talked about it being a simple game. Why run at the man if you can run at a hole, and that is good running.
Very good running by Leon Boyd, coming across, crabbing across the field. And you can see there the Tamaki side slowly moving across field instead of moving up. And it gives them a bit more time. And there you go. Simon Mannering hits the ball.
Yeah, and that was a good tukuna. Is that right, Te Arahi, with our Māori kupu word for this half?
That's right, with a nice little offload there by their halfback. Simon Mannering, just on that, he scored 2 tries in his debut for the Wellington Orcas last week, so he's keeping it up. Good strike rate, 3 out of 2.
And Tauta, he would just wait for this kick. It's from wide out. Not bad, looking off the boot, but waved away eventually. 6-4 the scoreline. We've been commenting on the track. We know that they had a little bit of rain an hour or two back. How's it actually looking from the sideline, Juddy?
Considering the amount of rain that's come down, it isn't looking that bad, the ground, but there is quite a strong wind. It's a funny old wind, actually. It's strong, then it's quite calm, but it is backing the Leopards. At its strongest, it should be at least worth about 12 points. There we go. Tukuna, offload.
Thanks very much. And during the season, Māori Television, just letting you in on a few terms that you might like to use in your discussions about rugby league as Leavaa throws to ground Tela Pelanise, but Mannering with the ball now. He's got a nice build on him for a footballer. He's obviously with the Warriors at the moment, formerly with the New Zealand Residents and a JK and New Zealand Secondary Schools player. So he's come through the representative ranks. And now
interesting to see him actually play in the second row. He's a centre winger, Dale. So interesting to see him and Rennie playing in the second row tonight for the Orcas.
Which seems to be the go at the moment, rugby league, where the centres can play, and there you go, an offload.
Back on the inside, he comes to Rennie. Dallas Rennie looks back and finds Paul Rudman. Rudman with the ball. Rudman will go all the way. Oh, big run from the prop forward. You don't see it often. He brushed away the defenders, was in there, and that's a great try to the Orcas. 2 minutes, and they've scored 2 tries.
Yes, it was fantastic to see the big break by the big fella. He shrugged off the cover defender coming across. But as we can see, it was a good break up the inside by, I think it was the number 7 comes across again. Dummies, picks up Rennie back on the inside. Rennie goes to the line, offloads again. 2 big Rudman and 30 metres out. They can't stop the big steamroller.
What do you do? Leon Boyd is causing all sorts of problems for the Tamaki defence. And look at this big unit. Poor Rudman just fending off players. The big Matt Truck scores a try with ease.
He's a plumber, but he certainly looked like a truck that time around. We'll see if we can pick up some stats on Paul in a moment, and that kick is not surprisingly successful. So in just a couple of minutes, they've turned the scoreline well and truly around. It is now 10-6 in favour of the Orcas over the Leopards.
Last week we had Karina, who was the number 7, who performed extremely well last week. We see now the number 7 for the Wellingtonians, that Leon Boyd, who's creating all sorts of strife for the defence, showing, going. They don't know what he's going to do with a short kick or a long pass, and he ducks and weaves, and he's causing all sorts of problems.
Nice pera kai tohu on both teams.
Yeah, some good playmakers there, Tēnā koe. There's our word from last week. Gee, we'll be able to rattle off a game. We'll Te Reo Māori by the time this season's finished, boys. So here we go, the kick-off. The Leopards have been stung by 2 fine tries in just a few minutes. Again, it is Taylor Pilonisi who takes the ball forward. Plays it back for Carnegie. Carnegie finds Mannering. Mannering charges hard at Leavara. A good run from the second rower to ground, and he is only 5 or 6 metres short of the halfway line. Here they come as they line up once again. Vitale in the tackle. Runners, Rudman. No problem. Goes hard. Richard Johnson is there in the tackle. So is Ta'avili Leonor, the tackler. Carnegie, back again. Heavy workload for the young fella.
Dallas Rennie is getting involved. Both Paul Rudman and Dallas Rennie have just been very involved in this game. And there's the high kick here.
Testing at the back there.
Nice
Good kick from Leon Boyd. Well taken in the end by the Leopards through their number 7 Ashford, showing some composure there as the chasers were bearing down upon him. Here is a little break. And this is Boisa. He will play the ball now just 30 metres out from his own line. Darting a little run from dummy half on Ashford, but Paquito, the referee, says it was done and dusted. Taylor Pilonisi hanging around for just a little bit longer than he should have.
Good to see Mana Ashford at the back of the line, trying to clean up around the ruck, and he moves at the back to help out the wingers. So he's certainly getting involved at Mana Ashford, number 7. There you go on screen.
And then penalised. Taylor Pilonisi is a former South Sydney reserve grade player. He's also played in the New Zealand Sevens and has made 66 appearances in the Bartercard Cup to date between Wellington and the Canterbury Bulls. Here's Mana Ashford now. He stares it up for Tuakura. Tuakura is tackled by his opposite number, Pilonisi, and put to ground. Rudman assists. But Fusuanga decides to change the direction of the attack through Heta. Heta finds a hard-running Whakaluta, and back it comes now. Now, this is a good run, too, from the number 6, Ben Teraika. Teraika to ground on the halfway line. Out of dummy half.
Yeah, interesting to see with the Wellington Orcas there, Dale, that the forwards and the backs are really sharing the workload. I noticed in the previous set of 6 we had all the forwards in there. Now we've had like we call it a black set in rugby league, where all the backs, the dummy halves, the hookers, the centres get in there and have a bit of a scoot to take a bit of weight load off, and especially effective after doing the heavy defensive set.
Well, it's something that the forwards really welcome, isn't it? To get your wings, the guys who wouldn't normally haul it, to do just that and give them a breather. That's another good run. Went for the offload. He came up pretty nicely for Alva'a, but he can't get through the tackler. Johnson and Tuakura. In fact, the whole pack of Leopards put on the ground now, about 20 out from the try line. Through the hands of Hayden Davis. Hayden Davis shapes up, and he's got a free arm, and he pops the ball back, but it's intercepted by Tuakura, and it comes back onto Ta'avili Launua. He's put to ground on the 30-metre line. We'll play it back now to Tuki Johnson. Johnson grabbed by the jersey and biffed to ground under the tackle of Davis. On there in jersey number 17, Mosia Masoe.
Yeah, big things expected from Masoe Dale. Got huge raps on this big youngster. So look from a big impact off him from the bench.
Header feeds on, it's for Turu Whenua. And the Orcas defence is sound. Make the tackle 45 metres out from their own line. Well, Fusuanga now puts it across for Ashford, and Ashford chips over the top, the bounce again. Looking for one for the blue squad, but his thumbs up in the black and gold of Wellington.
Yeah, Richie's cousin does a good work on the wing there, the fellow Papua New Guinean. Great to see a Mila Balam one top. Bit of pigeon for the brother there.
Nice, I like it.
As you can see, we're always involved in the game. Mothers always work hard, you see.
That's Umpalas Kua. He plays it back for Carnegie. Carnegie looks for runners. He'll be hauling a bit now, Dallas Rennie. He's done quite a bit of work in the early exchanges. Still 10-6. Quarter of an hour gone here at North Harbour Stadium. If you've just joined us, this is round 5 of the Bartercard Cup. Coming to you live and free to air on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Good chase there from the Orcas, forcing the Leopards back into their own territory, and they're about 27 metres out from their own line. Belitalesia's on and Leava'a off in the interchange. Some big hits. I have to think that Mannering and Rennie, Tarahi would be, you know, breathing heavy as we see a break from Heta. Heta is eventually claimed by Laulu at the back, but not before he's claimed 25 metres for his squad. Flung to ground some of those bigger players, though. Tarahi will be doing it tough right now. Some big yardage from the young Orcas.
Good call from Dave Pakiero. He certainly wasn't square there. Now what will they do here? The Tamaki side looks like they're going to kick it out. Probably a good option. Keep the pressure on.
There's a barging run too. This time it's Sione Nuila. Now Fusuanga. He's very much a terror from the dummy half position. And that ball almost found his teammate, but instead turned over, and Laulu takes the ball. Great to know the game's being watched by all our friends of Māori television down in the capital, right throughout the country. I tell you, we'll be able to cover games from the Northern Storm. Looking forward to doing their match. And also the Central Falcons, they're going really well. And to David Lomax and his team, congratulations. Good shot in the arm for the game down in Manawa too. 37 out from the line now as the Orcas. And for a settler, to Whenua, another strong hit. Big young man. Worked through Carnegie now and looking for a way through is Hayden Davis, but the Leopards are there in numbers. Making the tackle about 10 short of halfway. Down, charge down. And it bounces back into the hands of Dion Laulu, decides to kick again, but this time the kick misdirected.
Yeah, very poor option from Laulu there. The kick got charged down. It was the first tackle, and he's kicked it out on the full.
Yeah, Dion Laulu has been a bit of pressure put on him with the kick, and not a very smart decision there. But ball in hand, he's a very, very dangerous runner. He's one of the top try scorers in the competition at the moment, with 4 already in the bag. So no doubt, if he does get his opportunities, he will take them.
And Dion Laulu, a proud New Zealand Māori player from this year, also in the Wellington team of 2006, and has played for the Bartercard Cup in Wellington for 2 seasons now. In fact, this will be his 3rd.
Yeah, Paul Bergman very happy with the start of all as a coach. They conceded an early try, and it's just gone 16, 17 minutes into the game, and they seem to be holding up very well at the moment, though.
Heta takes it from the back and gets it on to Ashford. They alter positions for the scrum feed. This is Boaza. He gets some attention and will play the ball now 30 metres out from the try line. This is Mana Ashford once again. He's an unpredictable sort of runner, Richie Barnett. You're not quite sure if he's going to kick, pass or go, and he's been doing all 3 so far today. As Tutu Whenua does another bold run and takes him to 12 metres out from the try line. So options for Fusuanga. Gino goes left this time, and here is a runner. He picks up a nice angle, and it's Atkins. But the Orcas' defence very sound.
Yeah, certainly are. They're coming off their line very, very quickly and nominating the players as they come up.
But Fusuanga keeping them in 2 minds as it comes to Tuakura. He leaves the ball behind in the hope that his teammate angled behind him, but not so. And he's disappointed, but
he would be fairly disappointed with that. Trying to force the ball. As you can see here, an inside ball to Big George. A good move on wet conditions. The big man will take 2 or 3 guys to stop him, but it's just that last pass.
Heads, hold it square, Lucy.
Well, George will know that Ivan Cleary, the Warriors Connections, will be keeping an eye on this match, and I'd like to say congratulations to them for their win over South Sydney to hopefully get the season back on track. The best to Ivan and Charlie Ackland.
It was great to see young Missy Talopapa, who we saw play for the Lions the other night, Dale, actually get a start and played very, very well against the South Sydney.
Well, that's what the Bartercard Cup is, isn't it? A shop window, a platform for young players from our domestic competition to show their wares to prospective employers, I suppose, is what you'd call NRL clubs or Super League clubs in England.
It's just a job.
Here we are.
Wonderful job.
And a good one at that.
Wonderful job. You guys are two of the luckiest men on the planet. You ever give yourself those thoughts?
It's been great fun. I can honestly say that.
Well, a different stage of your lives now, and it's great to be working with you two in the commentary box. 16 with the ball. This is Daniel Misa.
Come, mate.
We'll take the referee's comments here. He's going to call out, I think it's Richard Johnson.
Hey. You won't be spending much time. You keep those tackles up. Come here. Listen up. Told your captain at the start, which was Sanavi, to tell your team about the grapple tackle. You're walking away. Listen up. Stay off the head. That's your warning. Go. Here.
Pretty stern words there from
very
Dave
clear and
Paqueta.
concise. Stay away from the head, as we can see. Richie Johnson, good hit, but he goes on with it. Does the old, yeah, I can say there's not too much in it. He's just given him a bit of a facial and try to ring his neck.
He's renowned for those tough tackles, I tell you. He's what you call the mongrel in the side, I've heard.
Yeah, but you know, in defence of the referee, he's trying to keep the game flowing, and he wants, you know, to keep the guys away from their head. I think that the warning was appropriate. There's a couple of high-ish shots. I don't think there's any malice in them, but they seem to be slipping up from the chest as the Orcas mount another attack through Boyd. Boyd with the ball. That will be a penalty for shepherding. Accidental shepherding, admittedly, but still, the referee must remain consistent, and he came in behind his own player, and David Paqueta didn't hesitate.
Yeah, once again, some great work by the halves, Ben Taireka and Leon Boyd. Having a very, very good game. Once again, puts doubt in the minds of the defence, and he slices through. Obviously, Simon Manning took the other player out, so just a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, he's been very dangerous, Leon, because of the runners that are running the angles for him. Taking it's hard for the defence to know who to take when you've got runners as they have off Leon Boyd.
Well, Pelletelesi turns the ball over, now gives another opportunity to Tulawai Ovar. He makes it onto 30 metres. We'll play the ball now. Back to Carnegie. Carnegie looks for runners. 14 to Ashley Parker. Parker with the ball, taken on the tackle of Johnson, and assisted there by Leon Noah. Again, 22 from the line, and 5 to the right-hand side of the post. It goes through Taireka, and then it's with Boyd. Boyd with a beautiful ball. Here comes Dion Lolu. Try time.
Oh, and that's what we were just talking about, Richie, isn't it? A la Richie Barnett hitting the line at speed. You can't stop someone coming back on the angle. Young Leon Boyd picks him up. What a great line. What a great try.
Perfect. Leon Boyd running across, someone straightening up. That's the only way to score tries. It's so effective when you've got someone running across, when someone hits the hole at pace. And you'll see here with Leon Boyd crabbing across the field. And there you go, a lovely ball and a nice line from Dion Luau.
Classic rugby league try there from the fullback. The line was beautiful. The pace was what it was about, Richie.
Certainly was. How did you see it down there, Tiarihi?
No, definitely. All pace, like I was saying, Dion Lolu, very dangerous man with the ball. But Leon Boyd, I just want to talk about the Kai Tohuto, who's the halfbacks, the playmakers have been very, very impressed over the last couple of weeks. 4 dominated games, our first few on Monday Night League, but they're definitely stepping up.
Yeah, certainly is. Great, mate. And as we watch the kick straight between the uprights, and that's by number 7, Leon Boyd. Again, Alkai Tohu doing very well. Just want to make a special mention of Ashley Parker, young player. He's the NJC player, current Wellington's under-18s captain, and also a New Zealand 16 player, making his debut for the bartercard tonight.
Oh, good on him too. Young fellas, there's a few of them around. I heard about another guy running with the Falcons. I think he might have been only 16 or something, 116 kg, 6'4". We're looking forward to seeing him as Dion Lolu. Makes it look easy, but it wasn't. He was committed. The pace he was going at, Rich, he knew what was happening.
I think it was a planned move, especially when you got a guy like that with pace. And Dion Boyd running across.
And here he is, young Ashley Parker there.
A name to keep your eyes and ears out for. Another young player too, Mose Maasoi. You know, part of the strength of a good coach is his ID teams, whether he does it himself or trusts those around him and his support staff to find these young talent, to elevate them into an opportunity to show their wares in you know, adult footy. I suppose a lot of these guys coming out of junior football and really don't miss anything when they step it up. And, we're seeing a couple of them coming through, a bartercard cup already. This is round 5. There are split rounds in the Bartercard Cup competition as the ball's turned over to the Leopards. I won't go into too much detail about that because it gets somewhat confusing. Suffice to say, Māori Television will have a live game of rugby league from the Bartercard Cup every Monday night for 26 weeks, and we thank New Zealand Rugby League for adjusting somewhat their schedule to allow that to occur. So if you're enjoying the footy on Monday night, stick with it every Monday at 8 o'clock for the entire season. You'll get live domestic rugby league here on the home of New Zealand Rugby League, Māori Television, 16-6, with just on half an hour played here at North Harbour Stadium as the Leopards mount another attack and a crushing tackle on Atkins. I like his bravery. I saw that the one game he played for the Warriors. The kid's got some guts. I'll give him that. The downtowner is sent off the boot of Heta and rather unusually controlled at the back by Laulu.
Laulu, he's great with the ball. He's just indecisive at getting to the ball when there's a high kick going up.
I might get another look at that because this Laulu's got some...
he's got pace. He's got pace. There's no doubt about that. He's got something special about him.
Yeah, and the winger gets the ball out to his opposite, Core with the ball, wide and goes for Mannering. Mannering shows some pace as well, almost got around the Leopard wing three-quarter. And the turnover now for the Leopards, they will play the ball on the 30-metre line and a couple of metres inside the grandstand side of North Harbour Stadium.
If I was Dean Clark now, I'd be really looking to my side to my forwards to dominate up the middle of the ruck. They really haven't dominated up there. And
that is a good tackle on Sionen Nuila, but also a good run. He made some good yardage before he got crunched. Up the middle again goes Tuakura. He says kia ora to the Orcas. Fa'afusuanga alive with it. Johnson now. Johnson. He's grasped by Ashley Parker. Very young team, this Orcas outfit. And, you know, Paul lost a lot of players from last season's Bartercard Cup, so that's what I mean. You've got to identify it as Laulu makes what I thought might have been a costly error. Fortunately, the ball bounced back into his hands, but it did indeed touch the turf.
Yeah, he's put down a couple of those high kicks, Richie, so they'll be targeting him all night. You know, once if you're a fullback or winger drop the ball, you'd be trying to target him all the time.
Absolutely. And it's good work from their winger, the number 2, Desta Buchanan, who actually shielded him and helped him out there. So it was good work from the left wing.
Drill drive message, make no apology for pumping this one right through our league broadcasts throughout 2006. Still too many ignoring the message. As we get back to the footy action, and this is Taylor Beninesi. He'll play the ball about 30 out from his own line, but didn't play it too well. What's it called here?
I think he's knocked it on, hasn't he?
I knocked it on to play the ball. I thought this.
Yes, Dave Paquito, sponsored by Crown Lift Trucks. Looks like he needs a forklift to get him onto the field, old pucks.
If Dave's whānau are listening today and you think that the guys are having a go, they have played footy with Dave, so it's just, I'd say, what sort of jiving.
Lovely wife, Lily. If you're out there, we're just joking, love. But it's true.
Away we go now, and the hit up this time from Plaza, but he loses the ball in the first tackle of that set, and then the ball is lost once again, and the referee will say, come on, we'll pack it down again. But there's nothing as crushing to a coach, other than, you know, working hard, getting the ball in good field position and turning it over in the first tackle.
Yeah, that's why Dean Clark's got no hair left, because he coaches for the last 3 years. He's coached the New Zealand Māoris this year, and also the Tamaki Leopards, and even the manager, his brother Vinny, he's lost all his hair because of all the mistakes the players make.
To be fair, that was a great tackle there. A shoulder tackle right into the ball drops out. So let's give credit to the defender there.
Didn't play the ball properly. Back to basics. I know so often in rugby league you see these little mistakes, faux pas, call them what you like, but, you know, simple things, and that's another reason why.
That's when the captain has to come in and say to his players, let's just get to the kick. And they've got to steady the ship to some degree, both sides.
Yeah, I'd be looking to Mun Ashford to really lift in this set of 6 and try and put the Leopards back on the board here.
Wide it comes, eventually that's to Tuki Johnson, and Johnson gets bundled into touch. And again, an example, you have the ball early in the tackle count and absolutely squander it.
As a player, all you want the forwards to do is take the ball up, especially after you've dropped the ball a few times, just to settle yourself into the game again. Not go wide, just settle it down. As you can see, the pass is going wayward. and then running close to the sideline, and you get pulled over in conditions like this.
Percentage footy is what it's about. Just hit, settle, put a kick on, whatever. But, you know, it can do a lot to a team, can't it, Tawera, to just control the ball for a set.
It is very frustrating, and that's what both coaches spoke about it before the game there, Dale. So they're really aware of the conditions.
Yeah, on the conditions. Tukuna is a useful tool that we've seen throughout the weeks, but not too sure you want to use it at this point in time. A few too many errors right now.
Tukuna to offload. Fifth and final tackle. Up it comes off Boyd, thinking all the time. This is pressure at the back, and who's there? Walker is there. I was going to say, what a fabulous try. We'll get another look at it. Referee was well positioned to make the call.
I'd love to see this. This was close.
Here we are, guys. Go.
We'll get a chance to have a look at it in just a moment as we see the Leopards attempting to work their way out, but
pick it up.
And a penalty coming. Now this is virtually in front of the post. Will they? This is the.
Come here, two. Come here, two.
17 takes it. Well, he didn't have control of it.
You do not leave it on the deck when you're on the deck.
I think you'd probably give that a...
Understand that.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. Marceau.
It certainly projected forward.
I think it did go forward. So good fair call there by Dave Paquito. And at the back of it, the Leopards get penalised for incorrect play the ball or putting the ball down on the ground and using the ball to get up, Dale. Therefore, they're penalised, and the gift 2 points for the Orcas right in front of the post.
Tawera. We've got replacements coming on left, right, and centre. I think Jeff Ruapuro is on the field at the moment. But in defence again of Dave Paquito, he made the call very quickly.
He certainly did. He's on to it tonight. And what I've got to say with Wellington Orcas, their forward pack have been dominating the Tamaki Leopards, I think, in this first half, when you got Paul Rudman and Taylor Pilanesi, and Simon Mannering has been quite effective out wide.
Just on 4.5 minutes left to play. But unexpectedly, another 2 points added to the scoreline, 18-6. You're by no means safe at 18-6, though we've seen that happen many times in NRL, certainly even a bartercard.
Yeah, certainly is. The poor old Stallions had too many oats last week and got run down by the Waitakere Rangers.
Well, it's an 80-minute game.
Still neighing over that loss.
Yeah, so what's interesting with these two sides, they're for and against. They're in the negatives, which suggests to me that the defence is not all that crash hot, but they can score tries. It's the problem being the defence.
Well, on that note there, Rich, the Tamaki Leopards actually, before this game started, were ranked third in defence. It was just their attack wasn't that flash. But that conversion kick puts Leon Boyd as the second top point scorer in the Bartercard Cup so far.
Thanks, Taudahi. He's having a fine game, the young halfback.
Certainly as a Kaitohu, he's been very dominant in this half, Dale.
He's actually studying rugby league at the New Zealand Institute of Sport. Young Leon Boyd is we see a run this time from Ashley Parker. The young fellow came with plenty of raps from Paul Bergman. I mentioned at the top of our broadcast, Tawera, that you and Paul go back to some coaching certificate experience in Aussie.
Yeah, we spent a bit of time in Australia about 2 or 3 years ago. We went to the Narrabeen Academy, New South Wales Rugby League, and spent about a week there at a level 4 coaching course where guys like Gary Belcher, Mel Meninga and all these other top coaches were. But the only thing is that I never saw Bergie because he was at the casino most nights anyway.
Back into the action. I'm curious about whether you'd considered sort of coaching as well. Richie, we might have a moment 5 metres inside the Orcas half as the Leopards try to come back in the latter stages of this first half. They have had 3 tries scored against them from Mannering, Rudman and Alolu. And this time a penalty against Bentaleka.
Good call from Dave Paquito, actually. It was easy for that player to throw the ball away. But he said, hold the ball and let's get on with the game. Good work, Dave.
And yeah, great to see the touchies haven't been involved in the game yet, which is a great plus. NRL and the Bartercard, you see them on TV every weekend, and their job is just to look after the line, and they've done that tonight.
Kia ora, Tawera. Hope you're enjoying the action. Bartercard Cup, round 5. Bafuswanga, dummy half of the Leopards. Gets a ball out. Can that be converted into points? Not this time, or was it? Did he reach out and get it? We were a little unsighted. The referee calls it in and says, you're sweet by me. And it's Sione Nwila who gets the try for the Leopards. Well, it sort of came out of nothing, and he had his back to us.
Steve Price try in the weekend, actually. He's put his long octopus arms out and scores a try.
Go, 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 Gadget.
Talk slow, mate. It's a bit muffled.
Got to have a look at this.
Another angle on it because
like anywhere near that try line.
But great to see Dave Paquito make the call straight away. The referee is in prime position. As we see, he goes in, hits and bumps and spins. There's 3 players on him there. Must do the...
there you go.
There it is. Big mitt over the line. As we can see, here he goes. Twists and turns in the tackle like an octopus, but it's a leopard, and he gets his hand over the line. Gets his big paw over the line, and the Leopards are back in the game.
the Leopards are back, and the boys are pleased about that. A nice try scored there by Sion and Nuila. And looking for the extras now, Willie Heta steadies himself. Each point going to be important. How did he go this time? Looking good off the boot and fine according to the touchies. They come back into the action with a converted try close to halftime. 18-10 is the scoreline. 18-12, excuse me. And, you know, that is just what the Leopards needed going into the break.
Certainly, the Leopards needed that.
This will be very interesting to see. The Orcas were playing very well in the wet, but now the Leopards have come back and starting to get a bit drier.
So 39 minutes of football gone. And with just half a minute to go, I'd like to say good day to a rugby league fan out in Mundadewa. Look, I don't know his name. I've been talking to him for a while. His name is Pop. He tells me he played for Ellerslie, 1925 to 40, no, 1928 to 45, put it that way. So work it out for yourselves, fellas. And good evening to you, Pop. Hope you're enjoying the footy here on Māori TV out there in Mundadewa. A strong hold of the code. And 28 to 45 seems some sort of record for me anyway. Good on you, mate. Here comes Tuakura on the wind-up, makes a bust through one, gets it away, the 21, and here's Tuki Johnson! Johnson tries to hurdle over the top of Dion Lolu, and the scoop up left hand, classy stuff, Johnson. Johnson works it across. Now it's with Mana Ashford, and the ball goes to ground. What should he say? Say sweet? No, he says, not sweet at all.
Good work from
Certainly some excellent play there by the Leopards. Big George Tuakura doing the big bust down the centre, offloads to the winger. And he goes, who was it? Tuki Jackson. Great run, try to jump over Laulu, the halfback. The ball goes to the right and they put it down. That would have been a great try to go into the half-time break with.
Got to retire.
Big Georgie here.
Yeah, that was a good run. Good run and a good ball.
Tuki Jackson here.
Great big right hand tukuna. Good offload.
Right, that little scoop there. He's probably been playing touch. I think Richie Johnson on the far side of the field. We see a run this time. It's from Matt Wanoa. And Matty will play the ball. A couple of metres inside the grandstand half. And that is a big tackle. And it's Pele Telese. And there's the hooter for the half-time. As you can see, the rain coming down. A very entertaining 40 minutes of football. We do have to wait for the penalty. And Boyd puts it out. They'll get one chance to run it. A gentle-ish rain.
Good stop right there.
That's a good comment. I think he's doing well. Here's Mannering. He was really good in the first half. And that will be half-time. And an entertaining half of football. It is 18-12. 3 tries to 2. The Orcas lead the Leopards after 40 minutes of play in round 5 action of the Bartercard Cup from North Harbour Stadium live on Māori television. Don't go away. We're going to sum up that first half and look forward to an explosive 40 minutes here on Māori television. Back soon.
Monday night when we liven up, yeah. When we liven up, yeah.
We had a great 40 minutes of action, 5 tries scored, and it was the Leopards who got away early on. We're just getting a nice look at the standoff. That's Willie Heta. But as you can see, 18-12. It started off with a try to the Leopards, and we thought, hello, that was after 2 minutes. And then just a little way later on, and in the 9-minute stage, in come Mannering. We're going to look at some of these tries because there's some beauties in it, Richie Barnett.
There is some beauties here, and no other than Willie Heta and Mana Ashford, actually. Mana Ashford here, showing the ball, plays in motion, scores a beautiful try there.
Yeah, certainly was. And in the second try here, see Leon Boyd go across, picks up Simon Mannering, and he scores for the Orcas out wide. And once again, Boyd going to the line, sucking in defenders. Mannering hits a hole at pace, and away he goes.
We saw a great effort here. I think it was Rennie made the break, and back up on the inside comes Rudman. Check him out. This is big. Rudman, the plumber, says, out of my way. 1, 2, and buckle my shoe.
He's the man we're talking about again. Leon Boyd, inside ball to Rene again. And who else but the big bus, Paul Rudman. Get out of my way.
Certainly was. And the third try here comes out to Taireke, out to Boyd. And here he is, Lalu hits the ball at pace. Not even a hand laid on him. Sort of reminds me of Richie Barnett in his heyday at Cronulla, coming into the line at pace.
Beautiful.
Oh, great line.
Especially when the defence comes across, slides across to straighten up. He just cuts them to pieces there, and he's done a great job there.
It took a little while then. That was 18-6, and it was right in the last few moments of the first half. It looked like, well, from here, not much. But then when you look at it from the other angle, a big piece of work there from Nuila, who gets a try and a timely try to dot down. 18-12 at the split.
Look at the rain here. Pelton down here in North Harbour Stadium.
And have a look at some of the stats there. Tackles, well, the Tamaki Leopards have had to do a little bit more than that. But, more than the Orcas, obviously. Completion rates not so hot.
2 from 60 from the Tamaki Leopards. I find that hard to believe.
Well, they haven't completed many.
They haven't.
Okay, well, we've got some action coming your way. 5 tries in that first 40 minutes. What's going to happen in the second 40? Well, anything can happen, as we know, in this wonderful game they call rugby league. And you're getting the action from Bartercard Cup. Round 5 live on Māori TV. Back soon.
Yeah. When we liven up. Yeah.
This is George Tuakura in the last minute of the first half. A really powerful run. He managed to free his arms. Here we see the wing trying to leap over the fullback. And it was just one of many fine little plays that occurred in that first 40 minutes. That's an apt description of, is it Auckland? Yeah, I guess it is Auckland. And wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying the footy live and exclusive here on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Well, Tally Maipi's on the sideline, and I know the boys have been ribbing you somewhat, Cuz, but I guess you would have found yourself in the tunnel to shelter from that rain. Be interesting to hear what the coaches will be telling their boys in those sheds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Wellington Orcas coach Paul Bergman was really happy with how things started. In the first 40 minutes, did get off to a rocky start because the wind factor was backing the Leopards in the first half, so they will have that to back them in the second half. So no doubt we'll see Boyd putting in a few more kicks to challenge, this time to challenge the Leopards fullback. But on the other side, Dean Clark wasn't too happy at all. It was that their whole purpose was to dominate up the middle. If the conditions suited, it suits their big forward, so no doubt they'll be trying to get back to their game plan in the second half.
Thanks, Tarihi. And I'll pay a little tribute to the Ball Boys, if you can get a look at them. We had a chat with them in the tunnel, and Tawara was stirring them up. They're from the East Coast Bays Club, and another little guy from the Point Chev Club. And Tawara says you guys would get eaten by the under-11s down there in Huntly. So good on you, fellas.
Yeah, I said, were they under 7s? And they said, no, we're under 11s. I said, well, you fellas haven't been eating enough eels and puha because you fellas look too small. But interesting, second half goes on, Dale. Be interesting to see the tactics early in the first half. We saw the Wellington Orcas kick on the second tackle. So be really interesting to see Paul Bergman's tactics for this half and what he plans to do, Richie.
Well, I know that Tamaki side, Dean Clark, was opting to keep the ball in hand. I spoke to Vince Clark, their manager, and he was trying to persuade his brother to kick early. So obviously the Wellingtonians have been doing it. I wonder if the Tamaki Leopards will be doing it.
Well, you'll certainly be wanting to play it down the opponent's end. So look for early kicks in the tackle count. This game well poised at the halftime break. 18-12 it is.
Yes, and watch out for our United Video player profiles coming up in the second half. And our other football riki or Māori terms for the second half was also coming up there.
Thanks very much, Tawara. Like I say, I hope you're enjoying the footy as we see again Ashford feed onto Tutu Whenua. He makes it to 27 before he is claimed under the tackle of Carnegie. Looking for a strong run, and he gets one from the try scorer, Nguela. And Sione will get up and play the ball 5 metres short of the halfway line. Va'afusuanga feeds it across and finds Heta. Heta then onto Johnson, and Johnson is closed under the tackle of Tulavai Ova. And Gino again is Heta once again. That's a towering bomb. Now this is what Tawada was suggesting might occur, and it's really well taken at the back with Dion Lolu.
That was a real well-constructed set there with a nice punt in the ball, put pressure on their fullback Dion. So I think there was a well-constructed set of 6 there.
Let's have a look at the United video player profile, and first with you, Richie Barnett.
Well, Leon Boyd is causing havoc in the defence for the Tamaki side. Showing, going, left fend there, and a good ball to Rene. And of course to the ball, to Paul. There he is again. He's just causing all sorts of problems here. And he's a nice short ball to their fullback Dion Luolu.
So back into the live action, and as you can see, the Leopards have got themselves set in fine field position. They're 25 out from the line as the ball is fed to Jeff Ruapuro. Young man plenty of speed to burn. He will play the ball on the 20-metre line. Options left and right. He goes right to Fatale and Senave. Had a stint overseas, I think it was France, and he's back, enjoying life back here in Tamaki Makaurau as he goes to Heta with a flat ball nicely to Johnson. Johnson works it and gets it out wide. I think this is Lao Noa will play the ball. No, sorry, it's Whakalata. Across it comes onto Ruapuro. That's him with the ball, trying to get around the tackle of Daniel Misa. Here in jersey 16. Fifth and final tackle. That's a better set, dummy! For the line, oh, beautifully held up, I thought, and then he pumps it back to Richard Johnson. Try time, Leopards, early in the second half. They're in for a 4-pointer.
Yes, great try there. A great tukuna, I think, by the hooker, Jean Va'afusuanga. So great offload, and Richie Johnson scores, Dave.
Well, I thought it was closed down. Actually, I thought he was over for a moment. Then I thought, gee, they've done well to hold him up. And then the ball popped out and back to Johnson. Here's another look at the... well, a good try in the end.
It was good defence on the line. It looks like actually the Wellingtonian's hand hit the ball. Brushed right up there to number 12.
Well,
Richie Johnson.
I was about to give Jean Va'afusuanga credit for it, but really it seemed a bit fortuitous, didn't it?
Certainly was.
A little bit of luck in that.
But you make your luck in this game, and that's good work from dummy half there.
Certainly is, and that's exactly what Dean Clark would be wanting straight after the half-time. Go and then score in their second set of 6 and get back on top in the game.
Whatever he said at half-time, mate, it's certainly working because the players are putting together some nice sets of 6 there.
So the Tamaki Leopards strike back early in the second half, and just, well, a little bit of a test there for Willie Heta.
Yeah.
He's about 18 metres out and 10 in from touch. Strikes it, coming around. It's good. It's 18-18. This is what we've come to like in Bartercard Cup action as we get another look at another standout player from the other team. It's United Videos player profiles.
And here we see the number 7 for the Tamaki Leopards, Mana Ashford, being very dominant in the first half for the Tamaki Leopards side in everything from the scrum base, running, dummying, offloading. Very, very good skills. And here we see him go over for the try. The United Video player profile. Number 7, Mana Ashford for the Tamaki Leopards. Keep an eye on him.
That's a strong run. The Leopards back into the action there, and it's again hard-working Fatale onto Tutu Whenua. Strong run, taking the tackle of Parker with assistance there from Taraika, and also helping out is Alva. He'll play the ball to the Whenua, back to Va'afusuanga. A little hole for the number 9, a darting run from dummy half. Puts him 5 or 6 metres inside the Orcas half. Back it comes for Heta. There's a runner on the inside and a powerful runner too in Atkins. Atkins is closed down by Misa. And we'll play the ball 30 from the line, centre field. Bartercard Cup, round 5. Level pegging at 18 all. An entertaining match of footy between Two teams who are just really finding their feet in the competition. The chip over the top, looking to be regathered by a leopard. Instead, the Orcas claim it through Carnegie. Out comes Misa. Shaping up on him. Nuila. Dummy half run from Buchanan. Vitale is there to halt his progress. That little offload is favourable for the Leopards. I suspect they'll get a scrum feed about 20 metres out, 30 metres out in actual fact, from the try line centre field.
Yeah, it's been a great start from the Tamaki Leopards in the second half. They've come out very, very enthusiastic. I know their forwards dominated in the first couple of sets, and their defence, they're coming off the line very, very quickly and putting the Orcas under pressure, Dale.
Backing down the scrum now, and you'll see that they alternate spots. This is quite common nowadays, isn't it, where the standoff feeds and the halfback hangs off.
Exactly. Sometimes you see the centres move in there and do a bit of work from number 13. So you work to your strengths.
Luo Kuro is taken and claimed. 25 from the line. Through it comes from Heta. Heta turns it on now to Nuila. Good defence from the Orcas this time around, and a big tackle drives him back into the North Harbour Stadium turf. This is Ashford, turns it on the inside for Tutu Whenua once again, but the tackle is sound. Mosima Soye, and inaccurate play the ball. Referee Pakito's been very quick on these little mistakes.
Yeah, great game so far by the referee. Very impressed with his calls. Made the calls when they've been made. As we can see here, gets up, little knock on and the play the ball. Obviously very slippery, bit like a cake of soap in the shower, which Richie's bent over to pick up a few times there, Richie.
At least I can bend up. At least I can bend down there, big fella.
Now, this is football. Sometimes it seems like a comedy. But anyway, good on you, fellas. Good humour. Back it comes now for Kua. Kua will play the ball 35 metres out from the try line and 5 in from the broadcast side of North Harbour Stadium. His Mannering had a big first half, and he'll be wanting to replicate that in the second 40. Spinning in the tackle is Parker, who comes with the big raps, and enough there to impress so far in the match, Stoner.
Yeah, certainly have been impressed by the young number 14, Ashley Parker. Some great skills, and only a young guy with a big future.
Big b-ball pass over and finds him in some space. Ovaa tries to take on Chucky Johnson, but the Leopard wins the battle, and the Orca is driven into touch.
Dela Pilanesi there, the big number 8 for the Wellingtonians. Drops a nice little ball. They went wide to the right-hand side. Had a bit of space on the right side.
Yeah, probably should have passed a bit earlier there. Richie should have dropped the winger back on the inside.
Yeah.
You know, when you're running over the sideline, you're always trying to change the angle, so that would have been the perfect ball, but just got taken over the sideline.
Chucky Johnson with the tackle, but you no doubt would confer with this, that if you're going to make a tackle, why not go for the ball and wrap it? That time he sprung it out of his chest, and they come up with a good.
Low in those situations, you go high to stop the ball player from chucking the ball back. Ball and all tackle, they call it.
Boaza now with the ball, and sliding into dummy half goes Darren Kingy. There's a few Darren Kingies around. Tauti, you were saying there was one down Huntley as well.
Yeah, my cousin Darren Kingy, one of the schoolboys down there with Tani Wharau. He was affiliated with the Parramatta Eels, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But a very, very good half, and also a fantastic touch play. He played for the Māori under-18s team against the Cook Islands last series. Very, very talented player.
Thanks, Tauti. This Darren Kingy has played for the Otago club for some years. Just a young fella, as he comes out to Desta Buchanan, and he's wrapped up in the fresh legs of Darren Kingy, and he's keen to get on with it. On the run this time is Daniel Misa, and 3 Leopards there, 18 all the scoreline. This is tight and tough as it comes back to Parker. Parker attracts plenty of attention, but managed to shrug off a couple of defenders. Parker, well, we've been giving him raps, and why wouldn't he? That is, and just as we do, the commentators mocker.
The commentators curse. He passes straight to Willie Hedder, the 5'8" for the Tamaki Leopards. Big break by the young fella.
Here it comes now with Sanavi Faitale. Once again, he knows no other way but to go strongly forward and will be tackled on the halfway line. They feed it on the far side. Back to Johnson. Solid hit too on Johnson. Quick back up from Kingy. Slips on the surface and then munted. Taken by Taylor Pelanise.
Never on, mate, never on. Never on.
Never onside. That's what Dave Pakito is suggesting to the captain.
Offside. He's never square and he's never onside. Here we are. Can't keep talking to him all day, Taylor. That's your job. Yeah.
We're laying down the ball loud and clear there, Dave Pakito. And they're going for the 2 points.
Taylor,
Yes.
Yeah, Willie Hitter, a good young player, been through the Junior Kiwis, also the NJCs, and very, very talented young player too, though.
Yeah.
Big man at number 6, isn't he? It's quite a big unit.
Well, look at the old co-captaincy going on there too as well, I see. And like you say, former JK from the Marlins out there in Mundadewa.
Interesting note to see number 11 there, Isaac Leova, your son-in-law. Is that right, Dale? So a bit of favouritism towards the Leopards there too.
Yeah, right, fellas.
So it might be Isaac husband. We might have to change his name.
Hey, come on, mate.
Hey?
Come on, mate. My daughter goes out with him. It's not going to swap that around. Anyway, a big me to the Leova whānau. You know, a Tongan whānau who have given great service. Dave and Isaac's dad too, both in Premier players and played with some of the hard nuts of the footy scene. So malulale if you're tuned in tonight, and if your son's running around, I'm sure you would be.
Here we are, here we are.
And,
and that's a bad mistake there from Richie's cousin.
Why is it cutting out?
Number 5, he should have just put his foot down, tried to pick it up, and he's knocked it on in goal. Those are coach killers. Paul Bergman will be pulling his hair out.
Tell you what, Umpulis Kua. I swear that he's the Greek Oompa Loompa.
where do you come up with these, you fellas? Hey, where do you come up with
Umpulis Kua.
He's supposed to be Olympus, but they couldn't smell it. There's Velak Bela one top from Papua New Guinea.
Aidue Boaza with the ball. Tutu Whenua this time around. Tries to squirm his way out of the tackle. And now we'll play it back for Kingy. Kingy finds Faitale and he goes straight again. Straight ahead, like a battering ram. He'll play the ball about 8 metres out from the try line. Here's Darren Kingy. This is an opportunity for the Leopards. Can they make it count as it goes to Heta? Another nice ball. Heta gets it on to Leao Noah. And Ta'avili.
Same thing, stay off the head, grab hold.
Ta'avili gets a high tackle.
Grapple tackle, off the head.
Yeah, 4.
Grapple tackle.
Well, he's obviously being told, all the refs have been told during the week, the grapple tackle is out of this game. It's an issue in this game where when you're anywhere near the neck, it's going to be called a deemed a penalty, which is a shame, really.
Here come the Leopards. That's Heta. Turns it on the inside, finds Ruaporo. Ruaporo claimed by Carnegie, but he not in fact claimed, and he gets the ball out the back door for Kingy. Kingy got there! Pakiito checks with his touch judges. That'll be good enough. The Leopards take the lead. Well, this has happened a couple of times already tonight. You think that the play has been halted, and then the ball pops loose, and you've got to be there to capitalise. Darren Kingy was Johnny on the spot. Gets the 4 points for the Leopards.
The ability to spin in the tackle. You see here with an inside pass, Ruaporo, a nice little pass there. And look at this. Just skill, power, and in these conditions too, you tend to fall off tackles when you've got 1 and 2 working against each other. That's a good try. Number 14, Darren Kingy.
Wasn't it amazing? Some guys just make it not look easy, but you know, the ball seems to follow them around. And
I think
Darren
in
Kingy's a
situations
player
like that, a lot of players, when you go on one tackle and a third tackle and a fourth tackler comes in, they seem to work against each other, and that's when the player spins out.
Yeah, the big thing about that, as we look at Willie Hitter, who are just going to take the kick here, Dale, is really staying on your toes. If you're defending on or near the line, you've really got to be on your toes. So really to go either way, and especially coming off your line. Can't be sat on your heels, defending on your goal line. As we see again, the ball comes out. It's a bit of second phase. Goes into the line, bang, twists and turn. The ball comes out the back to Darren Kingy. Hits, offloads. There's 2 defenders there. He gets the ball there.
Yeah, Dean Clark's looking to put on the master stroke. He's brought on the big rig, big George Tuakura back on the field. I was impressed with George. I mean, he played the whole 40 minutes and he was active in the whole. I mean, he's a big man, but he's very mobile and very fit as well. Looks as though like, all the off-season training's paying off.
Didn't know, tell you while he got you there, matey. An update on Waikato Bay's fortunes this weekend?
Waikato Bay, well, surprise, surprise, they took on the lowly rated Northern Storm right up in Whangarei, but it ended up as a 36-all draw. Awesome result for the Northern Storm, considering that Lance High did also play as well as Hayden Kardina for the Stallions. So although they didn't get the win, excellent result for the Northern Storm.
Yeah, very much so. It was always going to be a struggle for Jeff, and trying to coordinate players from the north and players from here in Tamaki Mikoto. They apparently train in squads of 7 or 8 and come together on the Saturday morning or whatever on game day morning, work on a few combinations, get out there and do the business. So to draw level with the Waikato Bay Stallions, a big effort. Congratulations to the Northern Storm. Looking forward to calling some action from their season as well as we go through Monday night footy. Up it goes. We talked about the need to kick to keep the ball down in your opponent's half. Nicely taken going backwards, Dion Lolu, but he was in the in goal anyway. Just one of those tricks of trade of the fullback, turning your back on the chasers.
Absolutely. It's good to see Simon Mannering there getting involved in the game. He hasn't had much ball in the second half.
In the second half, speaking about the second half, our Kōrero Riki League talk, Fen, which is Arai and Māori. I'm not talking about all the Arai that you did in your single days there, Richie. I'm talking about the stuff on the field.
Arai ngā wahine. Okay, well, we'll get you now then.
And here we go, Taylor Palacini, the captain for the Wellington Orcas. Seeing if they can get some more dominance up the middle of the ruck.
So Isaac Leovao back onto the field. And that ball has been jarred loose out of the arms of Ben Talaker. And the referee, I thought it was jarred loose, but he says there was a hand in there as well.
To be fair, the Orcas haven't really been in the Tamaki's half in this second half, so let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, certainly haven't had any position or any quality field position this second half, and we'll see if they can come up with something in this set of 6.
So just one try in it as we approach three-quarter time. This is Wesley Henry. Nice bloke shot one of the promos for Bartercard Cup coverage on Māori television with Wes. Plenty of humour and commitment to the game. And kia ora to Wesley's whānau down there in the capital today as they get closer than they have been for the better part of the half. We'll play back now for Buchanan, Desta Buchanan. Long go to Boyd. Boyd skips out and comes out for Talaika. Talaika is sorted in the tackle there of Mana Ashford. Plays it to Mannering. Across it comes. Onto the boot of Dallas Rennie. You don't see it often, but we saw it here on Māori television. The second rower puts it high. No one comes away with the goods, though. And that'll be a turnover for the Tamaki Leopards.
Very close one there. I wondered if the Orca player had touched that or else it came off. Oh, no.
It's clear there.
Good call there by the referee, David Pakito. Sponsored by Crown Lift Trucks and KFC.
Back it comes for a
big hit there.
Tavili Leonua. Now time for Tuki Johnson. Johnson, wow, slipped really into the tackle there. Coming across, I think it was Ovar. A little knock on there. These are the sorts of mistakes that, as we know, drive coaches mad. Fed to the Whenua. Doesn't want to give up the ball. Some big men in there. Tuakura back onto the field.
When you make a mistake like this is where the team has to lift. There's only a set of 6. 30 seconds of tackling. Boyd there, showing his skill.
Good little run, well claimed by Ruapuro. Opportunity now for Mannering. Mannering goes for Rennie. Rennie is close to the line. Rennie is just, as you can see, 5 to the left-hand side of the post. Carnegie gets the ball. Gets it out wide for Parker. Parker's been impressive, but he can't move the mountain. The mountain being 3 Leopards defenders. Back for Mannering. Mannering with a flat ball to Carnegie. Tries to step on the inside of Ruapuro. Swung the ground with assistance there from Sione Nuila. Out of dummy half goes Wesley Henry. Henry with the B-ball pass for Rennie. Rennie with the fend with the other eye. And now he's dig round 5 metres out from the try line. Carnegie takes it. He'll flat ball it. Wide for Boyd. Boyd gets the ball jarred loose. And great defence. Magnificent defence. Liava'a and assisted by Boisa puts so much pressure on Boyd. Spilled the beans as the play the ball now is back onto Tavili Leonor, and he'll be tackled 15 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, great defence there by the Tamaki Leopards. They all came off their line, and talking to the coach, Dean Clark, before the game, he was saying their defence has been absolutely fantastic this year. And when you come off the line in numbers and put pressure on the playmakers, makes a big difference.
George Turakura.
There's good defence on him that time around, Rich, with Rudman assisted there by Henry. And the big man was unable to go through as Liava'a was claimed, and the tackle of Boyd will play the ball now 7 short of halfway as it's fed by Darren Kingy. Then it goes to boot, and that's a nicely angled kick, picks up 30-odd metres, and Scrumpy will go the Orcas' way, but certainly they're in their danger zone or thereabouts, 5 metres outside their 20-metre line.
The crowd, 200 to 300.
Well, it's not about the crowd so much. Monday night football is a new concept for rugby league, and so it will take some time.
I think at the end of the day, it's about the performance of the teams, and these last four or five games has been just fantastic to watch.
But it's picking up a following. We hear from people around the country, not just with league fans too, but a lot of people haven't got the pay-per-view Sky scene, and so, you know, free-to-air footy has been a long time between drinks, so to speak, and we're really pleased to be able to be part of bringing you some fine free-to-air football.
Easily been a penalty there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Hand on the man on the ground is deemed a tackle.
And coming a little bit late there, Liava'a. And a free shot at exposed midriff. And
he's the big man, Paul Rudman. He's been impressive, and I'll tell you what, the feature of the game has been the forward packs, and both forward packs. I've chimed them at different times of the game. The first half was Tamaki, the Wellingtonians, and now the second half was certainly the Tamaki side.
This is what I thought we might see. I was hoping we might see too. Boyd chipping for himself. It was taken in by Ashford, who feeds up Heta, and Heta was taken only 5 metres away from the halfway line. So it is a time, Tawara, isn't it, where the little men can start using their tricks, their skills, their tricks of trade, I guess you could call them, to try and upset the hard-working forwards in the opposing pack.
The little guys really come into their own when the bigger fellas start getting a little bit tired around the ruck, and that looks like another round-the-neck tackle.
Which would be right about now, Tawara, 64 minutes, 15 minutes to go. The big forwards will start to tire.
Yeah, you wouldn't know too much about that, Richie. You were always at the back having a rest anyway, being the fullback. It's pretty tough and torrid in the middle of the rucks, Dale. You would know, Dale. You played a bit of footy, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd be covering all the missed tackles that a lot of the players would do.
Well, your tackle count was only 1 and 2 a game, I think.
Let's get back to
vital ones too, brother.
Come on now, let's concentrate on what's going on here in the football instead of reminiscing on.
Well, we got a bit of a penalty
by.
kick here, just a bit of a break and play. While the Tamaki Leopards, Willie Heta, as I said before, very, very good kicker, and been on song tonight. I think he's only missed 1 from his 4 attempts.
Well, this takes him out to the having to score twice, doesn't it? So it is a sensible check. Now, where is the wind, Tari? Is it behind him or anywhere near him? What's the story from the ground level?
I absolutely wouldn't have a clue. It's all over the place. Right in front of me, it should be blowing right behind him.
Well, it's an ambitious kick. He's certainly no problem with the length, but sadly, for the Leopards' case, a little askew with the accuracy.
This time Richie's brother takes it on the full and doesn't make a mistake, so that's good, mate.
So what if I was the Wellingtonians, I'll be kicking early. Get the ball down there. Get the ball in Tamaki's half.
Well, it's time to try something as Wesley Henry winds it up. There to meet him. Another sight you want to see is Sinavi Faitale.
Out of jail free there.
Give him a penalty, ref. Penalise him. Another 10 metres.
Oh, you're a hard man, Tawara Nico. He is the captain. He should be able to have a word with the referee. Another good run from Rennie. Gee, he's been impressive, this guy. I've liked his style. He'll play the ball now, just a couple of metres inside the half. A charging run from Wes Henry. Bwaza, instrumental in bringing him down. But again, a little indiscretion in the play of the ball, and he knows it as well.
Pretty vital time in the game too. 67 minutes to go. Have gone. 30 minutes to go. A drop ball in their own 20 metres from the tamaki line. Could be a turning point in this game.
Yeah, these handling errors are definitely costing them. I've got them down for 12 to the Orcas and only 7 to the Leopards. Especially in the second half in this part of the field. I've counted about 4 drop balls already.
Statman sideline, Tarahi Maipi, Huntley's finest. I once suggested to Taura Nico that they build a statue of him when he was in the Planners League in his heyday, and I thought that a material that might be appropriate would be coal.
No, I think it probably would, as he's got a wooden leg, so it'd be a lot cheaper.
Well, there's been all sorts of things. Gold.
Yeah, he says forget the coal.
Gold, they got diamonds, they got dirt, they got clay, but I think the best one they'll make it out of is
mud.
Probably a couple of those
mud.
200 kilo beef steaks they've got down there.
It's a good town. I used to enjoy when you were running around over there, they'd always refer to Taura Nico from the coal town of Huntley.
Yes, Ray French mentioned that name plenty of times, Dale, but it's not about me. Let's get back to the bartercard.
Hey, mate, this is Māori television, it's not the other channel. Alrighty. Okay, we're 18 metres out centre field. You can expect a different style of commentary, I suppose, when Māori gather together. That's what you've got here on Māori TV, and winding up for a shot at the hole, Ben Taraika. He's 10 metres out from the try line now as it comes back for Carnegie. Carnegie gets ready. He's been one of the most impressive, and he is big and strong. Fifth and final tackle. Which way will they go, the Orcas? They are down 6 points.
14, you hold the leg. Hold the leg all day. See what happens.
Okay, well, there's a penalty. What will they do here? They're obliged to take the quick tap. That's exactly what they do. Dallas Rennie tries to go underneath the tackle, and it's a good tackle, too, from Faitale. Bwaza there in assistance. Carnegie now gets it on to Rudman. Well, we'll see what Rudman can do this time. He can't come up with the 4-pointer, though. That's the task ahead of the Orcas. Someone will get 10 in a minute. Yes, there you go.
You go, you got a 10. He can't get up with his hands up. You're the captain.
George Tuikula is talking to Pakito. And Leova'a
you tell them.
is given 10 minutes. I don't know if he deserved it, but we'll get another look and see what Dave Pakito
Out the back, 11, out the back.
saw.
On the line, Blue.
Well, the refs have been very, his directions all night have been very clear. So if anybody can't understand what he's trying to say, I'm sure they can go and have a rest on the sideline for 10 minutes and sort it out.
Well, it was a professional foul, and that's why you get 10 minutes when it's close to the line like that, as the ball steered back now for Daniel Misa. The big man is tackled 5 to the right-hand side of the post, and as you can see, 5 metres away from the try line. Here's Carnegie. Carnegie from dummy half. Not this time.
Hold line.
Outstanding defence there from the Tamaki Leopards.
Henry, flat ball. Boyd with a beautiful one once again, but Taika can't get through, and he again is held up just a few metres away from the try line. Carnegie shows it, turns it back for Boyd. Boyd goes, it's left behind, the kick is on. It's picked up, and well picked up too. The Leopards down to 12 men. Ball retention important, the play of the ball, Shonky. The tackle is made on Ashford. So as we come into the last 10 minutes of this match, the pass looked dubious. Atkins took it well. He will play the ball now, 5 short of the halfway line. Out of dummy half goes Darren Kingi once again for Tuakura. Tuakura attracts plenty of attention. This time 4 defenders silence him.
What's that middle?
47 metres away from the try line. Angled kick towards touch. Bouncing towards the end goal. Turns out to be a good one for the Leopards. The chase is fine as well, and I think that's Lau Nua for the Leopards. In Jersey 2.
Yeah, that was a great set of defence by the Tamaki Leopards. Really gave them confidence, shot in the arm, and defending 2 sets of 6 with 12 men. That shows a really good sign, a really good defensive technique, and really gives everyone in your team confidence.
I mean, we saw that last week with Robinson Godfrey being put into the bin. That's what actually sparked the Waitakates Rangers comeback. They got 2 converted tries during their time. Might be seeing something quite similar.
Justin Carney has worked hard, the hooker, as he plays it back to take, and then it's on to the boot of Boyd, but it really does seek out and find Atkins. Atkins away from one. A semi-shepherd, but the defenders weren't there. Mannering is, though. Gets around the field well, as Tawera mentioned through the broadcast. He can play at centre. At the moment, playing in the second row, where he really grew up playing footy. Peletelesi is on the field. Feed time for Darren Kingy, who serves the dish up to Boaza. Boaza is tackled 8 metres inside the half of the Orcas. The Orcas, 6 points down. They were looking for their 3rd win in a row for the Leopards. Round 5, it would be their 2nd win. They had a draw, 24-all, with the Counties Monaco Jets 3 weeks ago when they played curtain raiser to the Warriors at Ericsson. They led all the game, but they let the Jets in the last minute. So they've had 1 win, 2 losses and 1 draw. This is a drop goal to make it difficult, but it doesn't find the mark. But the thinking was right, Richie.
Absolutely. Not the best of kicks from Mana Ashford, but the idea was right. Puts pressure back on the Wellingtonians to score again.
There's plenty to like about both teams, I guess, Tawera, when you analyse the last 75 minutes. A lot to admire about how they've tried tonight in trying conditions, and bearing in mind the new combinations trying to come together. Later in the season, I think we'll see some wonderful footy out of these two teams.
Well, that's the big thing about it, though. You know, it's only 5 games into the bartercard competition, and what we're really looking at is another 20 rounds to go. So after another 5 or 6 games, they would have all the combinations set. The team will be getting to some sort of defined structure, and we can look forward to seeing a lot more entertaining football.
Denakwe. Just to clarify that, while there won't be 20 rounds, it's 10 teams in the comp. They do play each other twice and then play down into the final series. So it's a good 26 weeks of footy, and we're very pleased to be able to be bringing it to you live and exclusive here on Māori Television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. And a little mistake there. And we're going to get a handover again. Tarahi once again will share with us Korero Riki, and a new couple of words every week.
That's right, and this week again, for the second half was Arai, that's fend. We've seen a fair bit of that actually. We see a lot of everything that we're talking about in on Korero Riki, so don't hesitate to use it when you're watching your kids, your sons or your daughters play on Saturday morning. It's good stuff.
Denakwe, Tarihi Maipi on the sideline as the ball comes now for Darren Kingy. So they really just need to hold their ground now. 7 minutes to play. And there's the turnover that they really didn't need. So the Tamaki Leopards turn the ball over just inside the half of the Orcas. Well, Paul Bergman, you know, it came up. It's a big day to travel up here on a Monday. And we must acknowledge the players from out of town who probably don't prefer to play Monday night. But in order to have coverage of the match across New Zealand through Māori television, they do go through some hardships. It'll be tough to turn out for work tomorrow or whatever. Probably have to take days off. So Paul Bergman has travelled here today, and he would have been hoping for a win. They looked good in the first half. 1 try down here as Wesley Henry tries to get his way through. Has he got anything that he can do from the sideline, Bergman, do you think, Tawera?
Well, there's still 6 minutes to go in the game, and that's plenty of time. I've seen lots of games won in the last 30 seconds, the last 10 seconds of a match, Dale, as you know. But let's just see what they can do here. And as we see, Mana Ashford, our United Video Player Profile list in the second half for the Tamaki Leopards, pick up on a loose ball.
Look, I've just been really impressed with him. Mana Ashford, he's been everywhere today. But in saying that, acknowledgements as well to the opposing half in Boyd. Both of them had strong games and both very deserving to be the United Video Player Profiles, which we showed earlier in the second half. That ball almost went to ground, and eventually it's done well with Willie Heta. And this is Tuakura. This is Mannering. I thought he did really quite nicely to drop the ball in there, and would have if he had got it himself, but he didn't, and ball is turned over. That ball is stripped. That's cleverly done by Noah, who works it through Ashford. Ashford to Heta. Heta wide to Defenua. Keep it alive. Whakalata. Back up on the inside angle. Run for the line. No. Tuki Johnson. Just a few millimetres short. But it's not finished here because it might be here. Taken with a tackle now. This is Nuila. He did the same late in the first half to get the Leopards back into contention. The ball is played back now for Turu Whenua. He did it across for Heta. Heta, the kick wide. The numbers are there, but the skills are there also for the Orcas. And what would have been a very dangerous situation is dispelled by an energetic effort from wide under Desta Buchanan.
Yeah, one thing there, Paul Bergman, here we see the ball back onside to Tuki Johnson. He goes to the line. He did really well not to try and put the ball over the line, or that would have been a double movement and a penalty.
Just a bit of action from the bench. This will be it. The last interchange for the Leopards. Sinave Vaitale is back on the field for Pele Telesi.
Thank you very much, Tarahi. Well, the Orcas have got just 1 or 3 rolls of the dice left now as we count down to full time. I will remind you that the clock you're seeing on the screen is a working clock for us here in Māori television and the commentary team. The clock, the official clock, is obviously in the hands of the officials, the match officials here, as George Tuakura just needs to hold the ball. All about ball retention, it always has been. And tonight, it's been an entertaining match of football. Even though we have had the odd turnover, Boisa has tried hard all evening. He's taken in Matt Wanoa's tackle, about 20 out from the try line. Ashford onto Johnson. Johnson tackled by Mannering.
Yeah, I was just talking about before the Wellington Orcas now. The thing that they do have is a lot of youth and enthusiasm, but one thing they do lack is the experience of playing these tight games. And that's something that they'll grow with. They've obviously got, that's the main thing that they do lack, is that experience to go on with these games.
Very much so, but you know, it's what the game is about. It's a game for young men. You know, I think I applaud the judgment of coaches who sense that guys have the skills. They do need to protect them. You would have come across this yourself. Talented players, you don't want them getting, you know, injured and out of their depth. But a lot of talented young players seem to handle themselves well in any company.
Yes, they certainly do, and it's great to see that they've got some great talent, the Walkers. And Dallas Rennie, young Mannering, young Ashley Parker, just to name a couple. And I've been very, very impressed with Leon Boyd and Ben Taraika, the 2 halves. So they've got a lot of future, these young guys.
Hope you've been enjoying the commentary from around the Mutu. It's been a pleasure to be part of live broadcasts of League, and we'll be here with you for another 20 odd weeks. Dial us in, lock it in, join us every Monday night at 8 o'clock here on Māori television. This man has involved himself plenty in the game. That is Umbalas Kua, as Mannering delivers through Boyd. Down to his skipper, Taylor Spanamise. He will play the ball. Still just the 6 points in it. The Leopards have already conceded 1 draw in the final seconds of play. That was 3 weeks ago at Ericsson Stadium. I'm sure that Dean Clark will be hoping that history doesn't repeat.
See you later.
So somebody's got 10. Oh, somebody got 10 minutes there.
Somebody's got 10 minutes there.
Will he hit it? No.
Yeah. Number 12, Richie Johnson, I think. The second row has got sent off there for late charge. One last chance.
Well, there is a really glaring blue. That is a big, big mistake. The last throw of the dice, the kick for touch, didn't make it. And now Darren Kingy will slowly get to his feet. Back to Turu Whenua. They have got nothing that they need to do now. This is where Johnson is sent to the sin bin for a late charge. But then Leon Boyd failed to get the kick to touch. And that's why you are looking, as we count down, to Sinave Faitale. George Tuakura's had a strong game. Sinave, be ashamed if he's injured himself. In fact, one of the features of the game tonight, no injuries, as Isaac Leavata tries to bust a hole. Leavata was put to ground just 5 metres out from the try line. Can the Tamaki Leopards come back and nail one right on the death, or will something else happen, as can occur in the 13-man game? It went back. Referee says play on. There's the turnover, but they have 90 metres with which they've got to use this football. It comes out now, and Kua gets the ball He goes into the touch. The Leopards look as though they may have this game sewn up if we get one more throw of the dice. Beautiful shots of the North Harbour grass. Time out. There can't be much left. 1 minute.
Stay bound, loose.
Last throw of the dice for the Wellington Orcas here, Dale.
I thought it's been the last throw of the dice for the last few moments, T, but here we go. This is their set of 6. What can they do? Leon Boyd goes short side. Standing there is the man who's probably caused more problems than most, Simon Mannering. Who sees what playing in a professional environment, training with hardened athletes can do for your game as the Tamaki Leopards take this round 5 Bartercard Cup match 24 points to 18 after a wonderful game. And the Orcas, you can see the disappointment there, Tawara. They came, they really expected to get their 3rd win in a row. It wasn't to be tonight, although I'm sure Paul Bergman would be the first to admit that they too had their chances to take the match.
Yes, the Orcas will be definitely disappointed with their loss tonight, but all credit to the Tamaki Leopards and Dean Clark and his side. Done a wonderful job. It was 18-all at half-time, Dale. 1 try scored in the second half, and I think the experience of the Tamaki forwards really came out on top in that second half. 24 to 18, the Leopards celebrate under coach Dean Clark as they pick up win number 2 in season 2006 of Bartercard Cup. They beat the Orcas at North Harbour Stadium this Monday night, 24-18. Well, I hope you enjoyed that match on Monday night footy. 24-18 in the end. The Tamaki Leopards with a hard-fought victory over a very brave Wellington Orcas. Let's go sideline with Simon Mannering and Richie Barnett.
Simon Mannering, thanks for joining us. Mate, with 24-18, you were pretty strong in the first half, fell away in the second.
Yeah, I think our mistakes in the second half just let us down. Tamaki capitalised on that and got a couple of tries and couldn't bring it back in the end.
I mean, your forward pack was extremely good in the first half. They seemed to fall away in the second a little. They weren't making those robust runs in the second half.
Yeah, we got some big, good forwards, as you saw, and I think we just fell away at the end a bit too much tackling for the big boys, and Tamaki came over us towards the end and just couldn't handle.
So when do we see Simon Mannering back in the Warriors, mate? How's the injury?
Oh, yeah, it's coming either slowly. I think a few more games like that and get the fitness back, and I know boys are going good. They had a good win against Rabbitohs, so I guess I just have to wait my turn and see how things go.
Best of luck next week, mate. Simon Mannering, thank you.
Cheers, Richie.
Really impressed with Simon Mannering's play today. You know, he really has benefited from his situation of training with the Warriors, and a talented player. Let's have a look at this weekend's results. As you can see, that's the surprise of the round. The Waikato Bay Stallions 36, the Northern Storm 36. Waitakere Rangers struggled against the Canterbury Bulls, and of course, as you can see, Tamaki Leopards with the Wellington Orcas. Well, a very pleased captain of the Tamaki Leopards, Richie Barnett, sideline with Sinavi Faitali.
Simon Fatali, thanks for joining us. A very good win, 24-18.
Yeah, it is, mate. We're pretty desperate for the 2 points. Wellington's had a good run in the last couple of weeks, so we got a result, so hopefully we'll go from here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys your completion's always been a problem in your side. Again, it was, but I think 24-18, you must be very happy against the Wellington side, who's been pretty good this year.
Oh, definitely. That was a disappointing side of the team, is just poor handling, and the second half kind of showed some good ball skills there, so that was good, and hopefully, yeah, go from there.
Big rap on your forwards, mate. They certainly paved the way in the second half. Dean Clark must have said something in the second half to rev you guys up.
Just a little, mate, just a little, and it's good to see George back in the team again, give us a good hand. Yeah, and the rest of the forwards did the job for us, so it was good.
Certainly a feature in the game. Thanks very much for joining us, and best of luck next week.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Sinavi Faitali there, a happy captain as we get a look at some of the tries that were scored today. This is Mana Ashford, and the Orcas bounced back quickly with 2 quick tries in the 9th and 11th minutes. The first through Mannering, and the second soon after, perhaps even one of the best of the match. That was a ball back on the inside from Rennie through to Rudman, and strong running from the big prop forward.
Yeah, great start by the Orcas, but they really couldn't go on with it. And here again we see Leon Boyd. Great ball to the fullback there, and he scores underneath the post.
Yeah, fabulous run there. And just before the half-time break, we had Sione Nuila, who scored a try. And then this is, again, Fusuanga gets the ball back. Darren King, no, it's Johnson. And speaking of Johnson, I'll be calling Tuki Johnson all night, and it's actually Tuki Jackson, so apologies to the Johnson whānau. Next time we see...
Jackson whānau. Jackson whānau. Dale, come on, mate. Tuki Jackson cows.
So here's the table. As you can see, 5 rounds played. Some teams yet to have concluded their 5th match. And we'll... we are seeing the Lions and the Bulls, the Falcons, maybe the surprise package of 2006, Tawara.
Yeah, can't wait to see the Falcons live and exclusive on multi-television. And it'll be great. We've seen most of those teams up there now, bar the Northern Storm and the Central Falcons, the only ones we haven't seen on Monday Night League, Dale.
Yeah, looking forward to the Central Falcons to continue to impress. 3 from 4. Waikato Bay Stallions, well, they'll be disappointed that they had that draw over the weekend, but they joined the Tamaki Leopards, also the Counties Manukau Jets and the Northern Storm as teams that have had a draw as well. So Harbour League as well, they've got some more work to do. The Orcas, well, 2 from 5 as we see the boys just having a chat, I suppose, discussing where they went wrong.
Yeah, Paul Bergman in there talking to his troops there in the middle of the field, really just going over what I suppose would be certain aspects of the game. And I think we're crossing down to the sideline to see Richie Barnett with, I think, one of our United video player profilers, Mana Ashford.
Well, thank you, Mana Ashford and Willie Heta. Thanks for joining us. Your combinations between you two are sort of starting to gel?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just, I don't know, it's just takes training, makes perfection, I suppose.
And Mana, you're obviously from a rugby background. How's that been going at the moment?
Yeah, I still find myself getting a little bit lost, but that's why I feel fully and everything that he does, and just learning off the boys, so it's been really good at the moment.
Well, certainly your injection tonight is pretty much outstanding. You had plenty of options, but for a guy that's been in the game for a very short period of time, you're doing extremely well.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying myself. It's a bit of a change to rugby. I didn't realise there was 2 teams in one, like a left side and a right side, so sometimes the left side tells me to get back over to the right side of the field. But no, as I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying the physical side of it, because you kind of miss that in rugby. But
obviously makes it easier when your forwards are going forward, because mate, it's a pretty simple game in rugby league. When the forwards are going forward, you've got plenty of time to use the ball.
Yeah, it's always good to get some go forward from our big fellas. They stepped up tonight, which helped us a lot. Yeah.
And now you see yourselves up in probably mid-table now, which is probably important, especially early on in the season. You're down 7th spot, now you're probably mid-table now. That's important.
yeah, it's a big confidence booster for the boys to get this win under our belt. It's been a long time coming. We've been there or thereabouts, so I think hopefully we can kick on with the bartercard competition from now on.
Well, I wish you both all the best for the rest of the season. Being an Otahu man myself, best of luck.
Kia ora, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, they played fine footy, didn't they, Willie and Mana? And 24-18, the Leopards beat the Orcas in this round 5 match from North Harbour Stadium. We'll leave it for our good friend who's endured the wrath, I guess, of Tawhiri Mate. Let's go sideline with Te Arahi Maipi.
24-18 to the Tamaki Leopards. Big win over the Wellington Orcas, and what a difference a win makes. In 7th place now, this propels them into the top 5, heading into the early still stages of this tournament, but nevertheless a big win for the Leopards. But same place, same time next week on Monday Night League, we will get to see the Counties Manukau Jets taking on the Auckland Lions. Live and exclusive from North Harbour Stadium right here on Māori television. Also the other game, Harbour League versus the Central Falcons, which schedules to be another big one. But until then, ngā manaakitanga o te rungaranga ki runga i a tātou katoa, pōmari.
gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Tuesday got me singing the blues. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Healing up. It's gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up.
Jets v Lions next Monday at 8